On this week's edition of Newscast, nearly a century ago, a mysterious writer launched a message in a bottle. Now, they are tracking down this mysterious writer. I'm Mike Trash, and we'll have this story coming up.
Slight chances of rain and thunderstorms and colder temperatures will return for the majority of this coming week. I'm Brandon Ray. Nathan Torres has the week off, and I'll have further details on this week's forecast.
Plus, in this week's Newscast Archive segment, we will be presenting a skit entitled, I Was a Teenage Nobody. I'm Jacqueline Lobdell.
And I'm Jacob Pyle. Those stories and a whole lot more can be seen on this week's edition of the Newscast for August 28th, 2021.
The Newscast is sponsored by Ron's Town Car and Taxi Service, serving Howard and Tipton counties. If you need a ride, call us at 317-385-0005. Your hosts on the Newscast are Jacqueline Lobdell and Jacob Pyle.
Thank you, Steve Jeffries. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Newscast. I'm glad you guys could join us. You know, Jacqueline and I both enjoy it when we get to take trips along the beach, don't we, Jacqueline?
We do.
In fact, one of the most fun adventures of any trip to the beach is leaving one of those messages in a bottle. And for those of you who don't know what that is, basically you take one of these old-fashioned glass bottles. You can find them in any thrift shop. You take a notepad or a piece of paper. You tear off the piece of paper, obviously. You write down whatever it is you want to say, stick it in the bottle, and then you take it out into the ocean, and you will never know who might read your message. Jacqueline?
Well, a century ago, some random person sent one of these messages in a bottle, and someone ended up finding it. And now they are looking for the original writer of this message of the bottle. Here were some more details about how all this came to be is our Newscast special contributor, Mike Trash.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Turn back the clock to 1926. Imagine yourself a teenager, your whole life ahead of you, shining with possibility. It's your birthday. As a gift to yourself, you toss a message in a bottle into the local river and watch it float from sight, never knowing if or when the bright-eyed boy you are now will connect with the man you'll be someday. While that may not have been the exact scenario, 95 years later, the message, if not the bottle, has finally found its way home. Jennifer Dowker, who captains Michigan-based Nautical North Family Adventures, spends her summers scuba diving and conducting shipwreck tours from her boat, the Yankee Sunshine. An avid collector, she was performing underwater maintenance on the glass-bottom window when she found a curious curio on the riverbed. The bottle's unique antique shape and green glass were what first caught Dowker's eye, but on close inspection, she realized the find was something more. Though damaged and slightly waterlogged, she and her crew learned the note inside the bottle had survived an amazing 9+ decades in the water. Dated November 1926, it read, "Will the person who finds this bottle return this paper to George Morrow in Sheboygan, Michigan, and tell where it was found?" After posting a picture of the long-missing missive to Facebook, word spread like wildfire. More than 100,000 shares and 6,000 comments later, one curious reader managed to locate Morrow's daughter, Michelle Primo, who doesn't do Facebook, to tell her story and give her Dowker's contact information. Morrow passed away in 1995, but Primo recognized her father's handwriting. With a habit of secreting small notes away in unlikely places, she said that sending a message in a bottle was very much in keeping with his sentimental character. "I can just see him going out and doing that because it was his birthday," Primo told CNN. "I don't know for sure, but it sounds like something he would have done." Though initially, Dowker told Primo she'd forward the mementos to her. After sleeping on the idea for a night, Primo decided to do a policy of finders keepers that would better serve her father's memory. "I thought the right thing to do would be to give it to her," Primo told CNN. "She found it, and that would keep my dad's name living on." Indeed, Dowker plans to put the souvenirs on prominent display and pass the story behind them, preserving Morrow's legacy. Primo has planned a September trip to view the family keepsake in person. Now, perhaps it's purely coincidence, but this whole episode happened on Father's Day weekend. Even if it wasn't George Morrow's way of telling his little girl that he was still watching over her after all these years, she says it brought back a boatload of wonderful memories. For the newscast, I'm Mike Trash.
Thanks, Mike, for the report. Now, before we let you go, have you ever written messages in a bottle like that before?
The only message in a bottle I ever had was from the police.
All right. Mike Trash, thank you for the report.
Thank you, Jacqueline.
And now, it's time for our look at our community calendar with the one, the only, Tony Hernandez.
Thank you, Jacqueline, and hello, everybody. Here's the latest on all events happening in Kokomo this week. Meridian Street Christian Church in Greentown will be hosting the Greentown Art and Photography Show. The event will take place today from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. For more information, call 765-610-8461. Again, that is 765-610-8461. Also happening today, the Pushing Daisies Band will be performing in this week's Riverwalk concert. Come enjoy some live music, local art, local food, and beer at the outdoor Riverwalk stage in downtown Kokomo, located behind the Fox's Trail restaurant on South Main Street. The event will take place from 6 p.m. till 10 p.m. It is free and it's open for all ages. Also happening today, the Literacy Coalition will be hosting a Dancing with the Stars event at Bel Air Events on Webster Street in Kokomo, beginning at 6:30 p.m. For more information, you can visit www.literacycoalition.com. Again, that's literacycoalition, one word, .com. There will be music at the Howard County Fairgrounds in front of the Community Building in Greentown on September 2nd, beginning at 7 p.m. Bring your lawn chairs and enjoy some good music. This week's concert will feature Eastern High School's Connection. In case of inclement weather, the event will be moved over to the cattle barn at the fairgrounds. And due to highway construction, please take 100 South or 100 North if you're coming from Kokomo. The event is free. Artsapalooza Kokomo is an arts festival and experience that art lovers will want to attend, nestled in the heart of Kokomo, vibrant with public art in north central Indiana. This community event features high-quality, handmade art and fine crafts by both professional and emerging artists and makers, as well as engaging art demonstrations, music, colorful food, performing art, and hands-on arts activities for all ages. Artists and vendors have been juried into the festival to create an immersive arts experience rich with in-booth demonstrations, great variety, and appeal to guests. The festival features artwork that is unique, representative of a broad range of media that demonstrates creativity and originality in concept, design, and execution. Join us for both days and enjoy the Artist Alley opening reception and Rain Garden Plaza concert on Friday. Then stay for Saturday's Art Marketplace, where around 50 artists and makers will exhibit their work along Main Street. Then close out the experience at the scenic Riverwalk Amphitheater concert featuring Gingerbread. The event will take place, rain or shine, on Friday from 5:30 p.m. till 9 p.m. and Saturday from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. at the downtown Kokomo district. I'm Tony Hernandez, and that is your look inside the community calendar this week.
Thank you, Tony, and now it's time for our local weather with our rain or shine weatherman, Grantham Ray.
Thank you, Jacob. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys have been drinking plenty of water and wearing sunscreen this past week because it has been a hot and humid week in Kokomo. We've had multiple chances of rain during the week, and it's been helping the temperature cool down some. As we get into this coming week, we will be experiencing cool temperatures and slight chance of rain. I highly suggest that if you have any outdoor plans, to bring your rain gear with you. So today, there will be a chance of isolated thunderstorms with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 61 degrees. Chance of rain will be 31%. Tomorrow there will be scattered thunderstorms, again with a high of 81 degrees and a low of 60 degrees. Chance of rain will be 39%. Going into the week ahead, we will be experiencing partly cloudy skies on Monday, mostly sunny skies on Tuesday. The high on both days will be 82 degrees, and the low on both days will be 60 degrees. On Wednesday, there will be a 30% chance of showers in the morning with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 60 degrees. Mostly sunny skies will return for Thursday with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 62 degrees. On Friday, again, we will be experiencing a 34% chance of showers in the morning with a high of 84 degrees and a low of 61 degrees. I hope you have a great rest of your week, whatever you do. I'm Grantham Ray, and that is today's weather.
Still to come on the second half of the newscast, I will have an interview with the singer and songwriter Leah Harris.
Plus, in this week's Newscast Archive segment, we will have a skit for you entitled, I Was a Teenage Nobody. We'll be back with the second half of the newscast following this word from our sponsor.
Hey guys, come take a ride with us. You'll be impressed. We got very reasonable rates. We're fully insured, licensed, reliable. Our hours of operation are Monday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to midnight. Give us a call for all your transportation needs in the Howard and Tipton County areas. We'd love to serve you.
On this day in 2004, George Brunstad, at age 70, became the oldest person to swim the English Channel. The swim from Dover, England to Sangatte, France took 15 hours and 59 minutes. Once again, here's Jacqueline.
Welcome back to the second half of the newscast. Our special guest this week is a singer and songwriter from New Jersey. Would you please welcome to the newscast, Leah Harris. Leah, welcome to the newscast.
It's great to be here. Thank you so much for having me.
Tell us something about yourself.
So my name is Leah Harris, and I'm a singer-songwriter. I'm based in New York City. I love to do soul music. I love living in New York. Spend a lot of time just checking out the city and getting inspiration. And my fiance and I have a cute puppy named Luca, who's a little mini husky. So that's a little about me.
What made you interested in singing and songwriting?
So I've been doing singing and piano since I was little. I grew up in a musical family. But the funny part was that I was raised on classical, and my mom was from Dublin, so a lot of Celtic music. But I grew up on the border to Detroit, so the whole time we were getting the Detroit radio and all the Motown and all the soul. So over time, I ended up realizing that was my passion and really honing in on that genre, which is what I do now. And I started writing when I was little. Music for me was a lot more than just a hobby. You know, I wasn't someone just taking piano lessons. It was really how I dealt with everything. So whenever something happened, I would write a song about it. Whenever something bad happened, I would use music to deal with it. Whenever something good happened, I would celebrate with music. So I'm just one of those people who's been obsessed with music since I was little and really used it as a channel for communicating what I was feeling. If someone is interested in getting into music, just do it. If it's in your soul, you should do it on some level. A few things I would say to remember are, first of all, do your own thing. People said this to me when I was younger, and you get so caught up in everything. You know, you see someone who sings better, and then you think, okay, maybe I should be better at that. You see someone who does this thing better, and it's very easy to keep changing directions. So what I would say is you can't compete if you're trying to tell someone else's story. So really try to ask yourself, what's my story? And it's probably even simpler than you realize because it's right in front of you. But if you can get that very obvious thing where this is you, and then really try to hone in on your skills and improve the best that you can so that you have that toolbox and that you can give these dynamic performances, whether it be as a performer, as a songwriter, as a recording musician, as a producer, whatever it is in music that you love, really focus on that skill set. I think that's really important. And the other thing that I would say with music, especially now, is that the business is a little bit crazy. So really ask yourself what kind of life you want in music, because I know when I was growing up, all we thought about was record labels and, okay, there's one way to make it, which is, give your whole life away to the possibility of getting discovered by somebody and then you blow up. That's what we thought it would be back then. But now there's a lot of ways that you can do things. So rather than focus on this huge vague idea of being successful, if there's a specific goal that you want, there are ways to get that now as an independent artist, rather than signing things away in a big way and expecting this huge random vague progress. So that's what I would say. You can still have a life. You don't even have to do music full time if you want to have the stability of other careers too. So it's totally up to you. It's your your puzzle to figure out. But in general, to summarize both of my answers, like, do you. Don't waste any time trying to do what's not right for you.
Do you have a song for us? Ladies and gentlemen, Leah Harris.
For you, love is hard work. Like a job you must escape from at the end of the day. Ain't that right? And every little thing I asked for made you feel drained and took your energy away just to love me. So basically, don't blame me because you're cold. All I wanted was just to feel warm. And don't blame me because you're tired, 'cause it's so hard for you to love, hard for you to love, hard for you to love. Don't blame me. "24 hours, that's all it took for you to flip your switch. You look at me like I was somebody you barely knew, like a stranger. But go ahead, represent it. I'd rather represent life. I'm passionate, emotional, I'm colorful, got so much to give inside. My footsteps, they've been so heavy, I'm glad to lift you from my mind. Don't blame me because you're cold. All I wanted was just to feel we're not meant to be together.
Good job, Leah. Now, where can we listen to your music?
Yeah, so you can find my music online. I'm actually planning to release a new single pretty soon. So if you want to follow me on my social media platforms and on Spotify, you'll get updates from that. So I post the most on Instagram. So it's Leah Harris Official is my handle there. And I try to post every day. I sometimes miss a day, but you can call me out on it if you see me miss a day. But I share a lot of videos there, and I talk about my life in New York City and try to share what other musicians are doing too. So that's my Instagram. You can follow me on Spotify. If you look up Leah Harris Music, you'll see my most recent EP, Treat Me Good, on there, and a single I released called Don't Blame Me. And then you can see on YouTube, I have Leah Harris Music, Facebook, Leah Harris Music, or leahharrismusic.com.
All right, we'll find you on there. Leah Harris, thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much. This has been such a pleasure to be here today. Thanks for having me on Newscast. And I really love everything that you're doing to inspire artists. Thank you.
Jacob?
In our Newscast Archive segment this week from 2012, we will be presenting a skit entitled I Was a Teenage Nobody. Dustin Clifton portrays a guy who is a nobody and doesn't understand Christ real well. Trenton Byers, on the other hand, portrays the role of somebody who helps nobody out and realizes how special the nobody character really is. Here from 2012 to help us introduce the skit is former Newscast contributor Devin Carter.
The skit that you are about to watch is I Was a Teenage Nobody. The central character of the poem, like skit, is nobody who mourns a lonely life rejected by them. It takes the intercession of somebody to show acceptance, love in the community of the body of Christ. And now, ladies and gentlemen, Blast Newscast is proud to present I Was a Teenage Nobody.
I was a real nobody. If that sounds like the opening line of a story, well, I guess it is. But my story was going nowhere. I didn't belong. I wasn't accepted. I left unloved and unlonely. None of them would have a thing to do with me. It wasn't as if they didn't like me. It wasn't as if they avoided me. It was that like they didn't even know I was there. I was rejected. I was neglected. To them, I was simply nobody. I left more dead than alive, a vapor in the land of shadows. I longed to be recognized. I'm here, I shouted. Look at me, I screamed. But nobody heard me. Nobody saw me. It was like I wasn't even there. I started worrying about myself. After all, I was always on the outside, never inside, never included. I was on the edge of their conversation, refused, not even considered. If they couldn't see me, then maybe I really wasn't there. Maybe I didn't belong, because maybe I didn't really exist. But deep inside, I felt I had so much to give, so much to live for. If only if they would welcome me. In my English, I wrote poems for them. I sat for hours and wrote terrible, burning poetry. I am the voice in their darkness. I am the child in their womb. I am the boxer with the shadows, a dry well, an empty tomb. I became more depressed. I was too embarrassed to show it to any of them. I longed for a friend, somebody who would understand. After all of them belonged. They didn't know what it was to be alone. It was me on the outside, a mere nobody, and them on the inside. But if I had somebody, then it would no longer be me versus them. Then it would be us versus them. I had it all figured out. Then somebody surprised me. Somebody read my poem.
I am the voice in the darkness. I am the child in your womb. I am the boxer with the shadows. A dry well. An empty tomb.
You spoke those words as if you had written them yourself.
Those are my lines, too.
I don't know what to say.
All that you have to have left, I have left too.
Like a nobody?
Like people don't even believe that I'm here.
Then somebody started to teach.
Thank. The world makes a lot of nobodies.
The world? But I thought you loved the world.
For too long, the world has been teaching people the wrong language, the wrong divisions. It teaches people to say them as if they were cursing. It teaches people to cut others out of the picture for all the wrong reasons. The world makes people deaf. It makes them blind. It makes them dead. I love my people. When they love me, they are mine. I am with them. They are like a body, each performing as one part. Losing one, cutting one out of the body hurts. Come on. You have that written down somewhere.
We here in this place, we who love you, are the body of Christ. We are defined by you because we are a part of you.
Yes, and?
Because you love us, we are all somebody. Together, whole. And we never have to be alone.
And nobody can take that away from you, I promise.
And they all lived happily ever after.
The end.
The end.
Thank you, Devin, and great job, Trenton and Dustin. This Bible verse that I'm about to read to all of you is a Bible verse that ties with the skit you just saw. It's Galatians 3:27-28, which states, "For all of you who were baptized into Christ have clothed yourselves with Christ. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus." A true yet interesting example for a skit like this. Now, if you are watching this newscast right now, wishing you could be a guest on the newscast, or maybe you have an idea or suggestion that you can submit to us for future episodes of the newscast, well, it's easy. And here's Steve Jeffries to tell you how you can do it. Steve?
If you want to be a special guest on the newscast, or if you have any ideas or suggestions concerning future episodes of the newscast, or if you want to purchase a DVD copy of any episode of the newscast, send Jacob an email. His email address is jtpile1@aol.com. Or if you prefer snail mail, send him a self-addressed stamped envelope to the newscast, care of Pile Media Ventures, 2241 West Jefferson Street, apartment A213, Kokomo, Indiana, 46901. If you're emailing about a DVD copy of the episode, please specify the program date seen on your screen. Once again, here's Jacqueline.
Thank you, Steve. Bob. Oh, that sound means that we have ran out of time.
Darn it. But I hope you guys can join us next week as Stacy Class will have a report on a way you can donate old computers for a good cause. That's coming up on next week's edition of the newscast, and we'll see you then. And with that, that will be it for this week. Thank you for joining us. I'm Jacob Pyle. Goodbye, Jacqueline.
Goodbye, Jacob, and I'm Jacqueline Lobdell. Jacob and I will be back with you next week, and until then, for all of us here at the newscast, we thank you for watching. And we'll see you next time. So long, everybody.
The newscast is sponsored by Ron's Town Car and Taxi Service, serving Howard and Tipton counties. If you need a ride, call us at 317-385-0005. This is Steve Jeffries speaking. The Newscast is a Pile Media Ventures presentation which is solely responsible for its content.